Okay, ladies and gentlemen, come dive into the open minds where you can broaden your perspectives, expand your horizons, and open your eyes to a reality never thought possible. Just remember, once you open that door, there's no going back. I am your host, Robbie Diesel. This is the Open Mind Show. And tonight, we got returning guest Evan, and you might not know him as returning because YouTube took it upon themselves to ban and delete and take off our last episode. They gave my page a strike. So we're going to try to watch what we say here. Unfortunately, YouTube is the only platform I'm on. So I'm kind of at that mercy right now. But I want to pick up, where we left off. Not even really where we left off. I just kind of want to get into it. I've known Evan for some time now. I followed him for a long time. It took me a while to reach out to him. But basically, he goes by Elite Exposure Evan, and we're going to get into why his name is Elite Exposure, and we're going to get into his backstory and kind of how he got into, exposing the truth, and when the veil was lifted and when the mask was lifted and when he saw the things for what it was. So welcome, Evan. Welcome back to the show.
No, I appreciate you having me, bro. Always glad to be here with you, big dog. Always.
Hell yeah. So first of all, let's get back into how did Evan's life start when your eyes really opened up to what was going on? Take us through that.
Shit, well, I guess we would have to start like when my eyes really opened and saw everything for what it was, like that epiphany, that third eye dilation, has to be like 2007, 2008. Maybe really like 2009 at the most, but I would say like 2007, 2008 at the earliest. Really, it was, it was just one night. I go to my homeboy's house. This is when I was living in Broward County, Florida, where I was born and raised. And I go to my homeboy's crib, and he's been on this, bro. He was already awake. He already knew about this. And I kind of knew about it already. Like I said, I woke up a few years prior, but it was this one particular night. And, he's showing me, we're smoking sour diesel all night. And he's showing me videos on YouTube about how, these aliens could be fallen angels and they're extra dimensional beings, and showing me how the fallen angels, were once angels and they come from the higher dimension. And just he's showing me all this, and the whole night we're blowing dro, bro, sour diesel all night. So we're our third eye, weed helps, open the third eye. It really does. It's like I always feel like weed was like a mild psychedelic in a way, And bro, I just woke up, bro. It hit me, bro. It was like we went at it all night, bro. Him showing me this, like video after video, Bible verse after Bible verse, connecting dots. And bro, the crazy part about it, when the sun started to rise at dawn, it was Easter morning. And I didn't even realize it. And bro, I started to tear up. And I'm like, bro, I don't know what's happening to me right now, bro. He's like, bro, he said something, but it was like I'm having a revelation type deal. You know what I'm saying? So that's when it all really like took full force with me, bro. Like that's when it really took off for me. That's when I really woke up and saw everything for what it really was, bro. That's when it started for me.
And now before that, were you kind of skeptical, or did you kind of have any idea about like, conspiracies or just, government establishments not being what meets the face value and all that stuff, and celebrities and the entertainment industry, or were you kind of like skeptical, like, man,
No, it wasn't me being skeptical. It was more like, see, back then, like before 2009, I would say 2007, 2008, maybe even 2006, I knew about this. I believed it. I was still young. I was still hanging around, the wrong crowd, getting into shit. So my mind wasn't fully, because I was still hanging around people that were on, that wild, buck wild shit. You know what I mean? So I wasn't fully like really looking at it for what it was yet, but I knew about it. Like, I don't know if you remember, you ever heard of the movie called The Omen?
Mm-hmm.
Well, those are older movies. Like, it's about the Antichrist, the first
Mm-hmm.
movie, but they remade The Omen, the first Omen movie, and it came out June 6th, 2006. And I remember before it came out, I'm like on the website. This is before like MySpace and all that shit. I was just like on like AOL, you know what I mean? Going on websites and shit. And I seen like I went to the Omen movie trailer, and I couldn't believe, I was so fixated on who the Antichrist can be, bro. It's always been like that, always.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, man. Like, I've always believed, and I always knew that there was some. I always noticed that there's something wrong with this world that a lot of people are not peeping out. I felt like, you know, I don't know. I don't know why I didn't get into it the way I am now, but it is what it is. We go through what we go through.
Yeah. It's crazy, when truth hits you, it doesn't matter what truth. It could be, this elite exposure. It could just be real life shit. Just, you feel it in your core, and there's like no denying it. Like, and, for me, there's still some things, right? Like I think people get me confused. Like, there's conspiracy theorists, and then there's truthers, and then there's people who are skeptical. I tend to be more on the truther side because certain stuff that does meet the eye is what it is. But I also keep an open mind enough to know that maybe I read it wrong. Maybe I didn't do the right research, right? Maybe I didn't see things for what it really was, because again, I'm human, right? But I feel like conspiracy theorists are like always worried about like the what ifs, the what ifs, the what ifs. Like everything has got to be something, right? And I'm a person, I don't believe in coincidences. I believe everything happens for a reason. But at the same time, I feel like there's just some evil people who do some evil things. There ain't no conspiracy. That person was just evil. You know what I'm saying? He's just a bad person. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And there's people in power that are like that. They're just bad people, and they don't care about me. They don't care about you. All bets are off, right?
So,
Um, so what's your take on that as far as like conspiracy theory versus truther? Do you see a difference in that, or are you just kind of like in your own realm with what you got going on?
I mean, so you know, we're in no this is November 2024, bro. We're at a place right now where people are just like, they're not like, content creators like myself with a big following, right? There are these other people that are on social media that got a decent amount of followers, and they're just posting anything. I can tell that they're not researching what they're posting. They're
Mm.
just, oh shit. Or they might have seen a video, on their timeline and been like, oh, look how viral this video got on their page. Let me repost it because I'm sure it'll get, you know what I mean? Like, they're not looking into what they're not even seeing if the video is fake. Like, they're not like doing any of that at all. And I've noticed that a lot of these accounts and these content creators are not even really content creators. They just repost, they're just reposting other people's content.
Mm.
They're not looking in to if it's really truth or not, bro. They're just looking at how crazy the topic is, and it's really just speculation for the most part. I like to make sure, for the most part, that what I post is truth, bro. Whether people get mad or think it's fake or not, you know, that's just me personally.
Mm. Yeah, that's another thing about truth is that, bullshit requires people to be involved and put their hands in it. The truth is the truth, whether somebody puts their hands in it or not, right? So So you don't have to like it. It's the truth. You know what I mean? That's your choice.
Yeah.
Um, so yeah, that's cool. And you know, that's just clout chasing. That's in anything, anywhere. You know, people will just buy hypes or try to push hypes just because they think it's gonna get them popular, it makes them cool, whatever the case may be.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, man, you know, for people like us, it's kind of a lifestyle, you know what I mean? And I
Yeah.
know I was always skeptical like you, like all my life. I just knew something, you know, something. I didn't know quite what, but something, you know, and people got to remember, like, you know, I was 10 in Y2K. You know, we grew up through that.
Yeah.
You know,
I,
movies. What's
yeah. I
up?
was. Oh no, I was gonna say like I was 9 years old when the year 2000 hit.
Yeah,
So
and like you know what I mean? You remember that whole the computers are gonna crash, the world's gonna end, you know what I mean? Like all this stuff, right? And so people will look at you and be like, yo, like you're crazy, bro, for the things that you think. But like you gotta remember, bro, like we lived through that, you know, Men in Black movies, movies like that, you know, that they're putting in our face. Uh you know, the '08 crash, 2001 with the World Trade Centers, like all this stuff that unfolds, and people will still call you crazy to be like, yo, like this is what we went through. Like, even again, at face value, I guess that's my word for the night, right? Face value, because I keep
face value.
like, to be skeptical and just even think like maybe there is something going on, you know what I mean, is not crazy in my eyes. Basically, when we grew up through all that stuff, right? Into
Mm-hmm.
everything that's transpired in the past 4 or 5 years, like I feel, and you can weigh in on this too. I feel you talked about it when you were younger. You hang out with low vibrational people. You know what I'm saying? Like we're frequency beings. We're light and frequency beings. So we pick up on that, feed on that, whether it's low, high, or anywhere in between. Um, but I feel like as a human collective, we're heading into a place of new enlightenment on a new frequency, a higher frequency. And if anything, bare minimum, I've felt it in myself for the past 10 to 15 years. My eyes really opened up with the Zeitgeist movies. I don't know if you ever saw the Zeitgeist movies.
No, what's that?
They were documentaries, and they were kind of conspiracy theory. But the very first one is the one I recommend to everybody when you know when they're interested in all this stuff that me and you have talked about, and we continue to talk about. And it basically breaks down like the government, you know, like the Federal Reserve, and how it's not federal at all. It's about as federal as FedEx. It's super privately owned by certain families. And then it breaks down how every war, basically since the existence of the United States in 1776, has been fabricated and sold to the public as something we need to do. So basically, it's big business, right?
Mm-hmm.
And that really opened my eyes. Like I started looking at that, and that like really like catapulted me into this thing. And I think I watched that movie in 2010. um but again, I'm living with the skepticism of everything that we explained, and then you know the whole 2012, you know, the Mayan calendar and all this stuff. And
Yep.
you start digging deeper and deeper, and you know, once you like I say in the beginning, man, once you open that door, bro, you just can't go back. You can't see the world the same, you know what I mean?
No, absolutely. It's like Neo taking the red pill, bro. That's exactly what it is.
Yeah, so that's cool. So anyways, all right, so you had a homeboy who showed it to you. I feel like that's a lot of people's deal. They have somebody that shows them that, or they have a life experience. What was significant about your story that we talked about last time? Because that was like really interesting, your background and what happened to you as far as the spiritual experience that you had and stuff like that. Let's get into that.
Yeah, so when I got to seventh grade, I kind of just stopped giving a damn about school, bro. Like I said, hanging around the wrong people, blowing dro, not caring, bro. Like I did good in school up until about seventh grade, started not caring. So I dropped out of middle school, bro, because I stopped going to school altogether. Like nobody could tell me nothing. I was getting arrested a lot as a juvenile. Um, but one thing I had I felt like was a genetic given talent, God given to, was the the of creation, the gift of being able to create, and whether it was video production or music. And because my father, he's a professional pianist. He's been playing the piano his whole life. He played with all the greats growing up and throughout his whole life. You know, those pianos that you guys used to see play by themselves in the mall, those were my dad's. You know, he
Mm.
was a big shot at one time. And the 2008 economy collapsed and took everything, you know, everybody's businesses out. Anyway, I'm 16, I dropped out, and I have a little studio set up making beats on Fruity Loops, FL Studio. And my dad, you know, I got a MIDI keyboard, you know, piano MIDI keyboard making beats in my room. And my dad, and I had, you know, my dad and my mom are watching me like make this music. And I had a college tuition, bro. So it was just, you know, it was like a $15,000 worth of college tuition that they've been saving up for since I was in kindergarten. So you know, one night I'm making some music in my room, and my dad and my mom come in my room. They're like, "Yo, Evan, listen, we're gonna build you a studio in the 2 car garage we have." And bro, they really went all out. They bought me the U87 microphone, the U87 Newman or Neumann microphone, however you want to pronounce it. They bought me a $6,000 vocal booth, bro. Like I had an official studio built off of all that, and I started actually making money by recording local artists and stuff, bro. I would charge like 20 an hour, $50 for 3 hours, and it just got, you know, I just got really deep into the music, you know, world, and I ended up moving to Miami in 2011 from Broward to Miami. And when I got to Miami, you know, I brought my studio with me. Disassembling that booth was unbelievably hard because it's like a real deal booth, bro. Like, you know, Madonna uses the same company for her booth, you know, to travel with or whatever. But it's real deal, bro. I'll show you pictures and stuff. But I'm in Miami for like a year, and then I start linking up with people that grew up with Rick Ross, Trick Daddy. Like I'm living in the area of Carroll City, Miami, Florida, and Carroll City. Carroll City is like, you know, they got little different cities in Miami-Dade County, and Carroll City is where a lot of these like Trick Daddy, Rick Ross, DJ Khaled, Flow Rider, all these, you know, Ball Greasy, Yo Briscoe, all these Miami rappers that, you know, were really popping, you know, like 15 years ago, bro. Like, so I ended up linking up, meeting people that were affiliated with them. These were these people's boys. Like these people, I ended up linking up with a specific individual I will not name out of respect for him because just out of respect, bro. But I ended up like they had this flea market in Carroll Mart that was famous. Like Rick Ross shot that every, you know, Rick Ross's first hit single, "Every Day I'm Hustling."
Mm-hmm.
He I don't know if you remember that music video, but he was on a roof of
Yeah.
that's that flea market, Carroll Mart in Carroll
Okay.
City. They ended up tearing the place down and turning it into some other plaza. But that was the spot, bro. And that's where I got the majority of my, you know, my tattoos back then in 2013. But I went there one day and I was selling like $400, $500 blue microphones, right? And I met this one dude, bro. He was like had like 12 years on me. This rapper, and we just started talking, and he, you know, we ended up becoming pretty close. And he would come to my studio. We would cut up music, and I started to notice that I could tell he practiced that witchcraft. You know, he was Haitian, bro. And, you know, I got nothing against no Haitians, nobody. I ain't no racist, you know. I fuck with people who are real. So I felt like bro was real, and we had, you know, it was that. But so I started to notice though, bro, that he was with that black magic shit, bro. And I was already enlightened about how these rappers that actually make it in the industry practice black magic. They worship Satan, they worship their devil worshippers, and they understand that in order to make it, you gotta sell your soul. You gotta ride with the devil. You really got, like, just like how I have a relationship with God, the Most High, the Heavenly Creator. This they have a personal relationship with Lucifer, Satan. So I started to peep that this guy worships the devil, and I had it confirmed to me one night. He was in my studio. He was making a song. I was producing him, and he was making a song, and he was making this hook. And when I heard the lyrics of this hook, when he came out the booth, I looked at him. I said, "Bro, you're not talking about no female in that hook, bro." He's like, "What you mean, Young E?" That's my rap name, Young E, right? He's like, "What you mean, Young E?" I'm like, "Bro, you ain't talking about no female in that song, bro." He said, "Who am I talking about?" I looked him dead in his eyes, bro, and I said, "Bro, you're talking about the devil, bro." And he looked at me with that look of surprise, like, how did you know that? But he didn't say that. He just looked at me for a few seconds, and he said, "You're smart, Youngie. I don't know how you knew that, but you're smart, Youngie." And bro, like when I was vibing with this person, I could feel, bro, you could cut the spiritual tension in the room with a knife. Like you could feel the spirits around this man, bro. And he brought a lot of that into my life, bro, because one night he ended up coming back to the studio, and he brought another known rapper that I won't say, but he's heavily affiliated with Rick Ross. And they brought two females with them that night. So we're in the studio, we're blowing dro, we're cutting up, we're making music. And little do I know, the two females that they brought were witches, because I can hear them doing things in the back of the studio, like where the couches are, and it was weird, and I felt, and bro, what they ended up doing that night was they opened up my third eye using black magic without me even knowing that's what they were doing, but I knew something was happening. So because they wanted to sign me, they told me that night. They showed me their label. They showed me this and that, and they were like, "Listen, bro, I want to sign you to my label, bro. You know, I like what you're doing, bro. I like your style. You know, you'd be different, bro. Because I was performing, bro, in front of I was like the only white boy around a whole bunch of black people, bro, and we're in the year 2013, but it's still the stigmas there. I was performing in front of Flow Riders, peoples, bro. I was doing a lot, bro. I was trying to take it very serious, bro. But I still knew that if you really wanted to make it in this industry, you had to give yourself over to that evil, bro. So that night they ended up trying to get me to sign with their label, but what they did was they ended up putting demons on me. Like when you use black magic, you're gonna put black magic on somebody and try to do it for their benefit, like they did with me, because they thought I was gonna ride with them. I guess they genuinely thought I was gonna ride with them and their label. You know what I mean? Because I got the studio, I'm the plug for the studio. So it benefits them too, right? Bro, when they did that, that's like something happened and it changed everything. It like, and how they say it takes up to the year 25 when you're 25 years old. That's when your brain fully develops and your pineal gland fully develops. I wasn't even 25 yet, bro. I'm like 21 or something like that. I'm like still a few years behind 25, bro. So
Mm-hmm.
my pineal gland wasn't ready for that. So it was fully open, bro. And it was like taking the red pill out of the matrix, no going back. So it was so real that the rest, the the days after that happened, I was seeing demons, bro, in my studio. My homeboy, the one that woke me up, we started to rap about God, bro. We tried to change the narrative on how we were gonna rap because we knew what we were doing was wrong, rapping about vanity, drugs, you know, getting with these females. You know what I'm saying? The whole, you know what I'm talking about, bro. So we tried to rap about truth and God and just straight real, before anybody was really doing it like that, bro. Like we didn't see anybody doing that at that time. Like it was really rare to see Christian rappers on such a raw level like that. You know what I mean?
Right.
So yeah, bro. I went through a very heavy spiritual warfare, bro. And I actually I mean, man, I was communicating with like these spirits. And I believe they were demonic entities, but they were talking to me,
Mm.
Robbie. They were talking to me, bro. Like they were right there in front of me, bro. Like I could see them, bro. It was they wanted my soul, bro. They were trying to bargain with me. Like this is very real, bro. I
Mm-hmm.
wasn't on no drugs, no hallucinogenics, just weed, bro. Weed don't make you do that. Weed don't make you, it might be a mild, not a hallucinogenic, but like a mild psychedelic because it opens up your third eye so good. It makes you enhanced. And you know what I mean? But it doesn't make you hallucinate, something like that, bro.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of things were confirmed to me when all that happened, bro. Like that's when my third eye and me waking up really took off, bro. Like there was no going back after that.
Mm-hmm.
No going back.
So how long did that last? Like you seeing demons and feeling the presence of them? Like it was almost like you were possessed or
Yeah, I ended up getting possessed too, bro. Like when it got like real, cause I didn't know how to handle it, bro.
mm.
Like I had voodoo on me, fam. Like heavy voodoo, and I didn't like understand it. I just knew that. I just thought like I was like I just thought my third eye opened.
Mm-hmm.
But dude actually told me like weeks later. He's like, we got into a little um argument about something. And he's like, bro, like I opened up your third eye. I did this for you. I did that for you. And when he said I opened up your third eye for you, I was like, damn, bro, I knew it, bro. I knew it. You did that, bro. You fucking made me damn near lose my mind, bro. But
Yeah.
um, yeah, yeah, I ended up getting possessed, bro. Like, I and I gotta say, like, I gotta take responsibility, bro. I'm not blaming him for everything, like I take responsibility as a man for even associating myself with people, like that. But
Mm.
I wanted to make it in this industry, bro. Like I almost sold my soul, bro. I didn't, it was real, Robbie. It was very real, and it is very real. And a lot of these rappers, I was visited, bro. I was visited, but I was visited. They sent people. They tried to send multiple people multiple times, and every time they came, I said, "Get the fuck off of my property, bro. Leave."
Yeah.
So yeah, bro. It was very overwhelming, bro. Like it was very overwhelming. And one thing I learned about when that all that was happening is how powerful the Illuminati actually is, bro. How powerful these celebrities actually are. The kind of sick mentality that these celebrities have, it's unbelievable. They are down with the wickedness, bro, all the
Mm-hmm.
way. All the way, Robbie. I'm telling you.
What's what is it that corner 9 Inch Nails down with the sickness?
Yes, bro. They are
Yeah.
really down. They are really down with that sickness, bro. Like
Mm.
It's real, and I can't express it enough. It's very real. Like
So how
it,
long did that last? Like the
it
possession?
when I got possessed, like when the demon fully took over my vessel, it lasted a night, like one full night of complete hell, bro.
Hmm.
And they didn't know what to do with me, bro. I ended up having to get Baker acted, bro. They didn't know what to do. They didn't call a priest. They didn't do any of that. They it was crazy, bro. I almost lost my life. The police almost took my life, bro. Like
Damn.
I fought about 4 to 6 Miami-Dade police officers. They almost killed me, bro. They put a gun to my head, and they could have charged me with assault on battery on a Leo, assault on a police officer. They didn't do none of that.
Hmm.
They sent me to the worst um Baker Act facility as far as like, you know, people like the people at this facility were heavily possessed. They didn't have a mental problem, bro. They were possessed, a lot of them, and I could peep it, bro. You know, it
So the
lasted a while,
police kind of knew in that instant, like you weren't all there and shit, is what you're saying.
bro. Let me tell you something. What's crazy about even that? When they had me in handcuffs, um, they beat the shit out of me, bro. They
Hmm.
beat the shit out of me, even in handcuffs. And the spiritual shit that was going on was so real that when they finally got to cuff me, they all like took a breather, and I'm on the ground, right? And out of nowhere, I'm out of the cuffs. I didn't try to get out, but I'm out of the cuffs, and I did I did like like me like Jesus on the cross pose on the floor. Like I remember, like when you're possessed, you're like,
Like crucifixion.
yes, I did
Yeah.
with one like with one arm free, with both arms free, but with the handcuffs on one arm, bro. And they're like, "How the fuck did he get out of cuffs?" And they had to recuff me, bro. They literally had the zip tie both my legs and hands
They
into the back of
hogtied
the
you.
squad car, into the back
Yeah.
of the squad car, bro. Like, because when you're possessed like that, you have like some type of superhuman strength, bro. Like, and
Mm.
I was, I was skinny as hell back then, bro. Like, it's crazy, bro. Like, but one of these police officers knew what was going on with me, because when I told them I'm thirsty, I needed water, they grabbed water and they poured it on my head, and it burned me, bro. Like it burned the shit out of me. And I screamed, "It burns, it burns." And one of the officers knew immediately. The officer said, "I know it. Oh, I know what's going on. I see what's going on." But I feel like he didn't want to talk about it because he didn't want his other officers to think he was crazy. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But he knew because I heard him.
Yeah.
I heard him.
He must have
Yeah.
been spiritually tapped in. Yep. Okay, so what type of facility did they take you to? It was like a mental institution?
Yeah, bro. It was like a Baker Act, like a Baker Act type of thing, like
Straight jackets and shit?
something like that. Yeah, something like that. But
How long were you in there for? Just a
I was
night?
in there for like 5 days, bro, and I played cool. I
Okay.
had to play cool to get up out of there, bro.
Hmm.
Because if like I had to like literally like fake like everything was okay and I was fine, and that was very hard to do, bro. But the girl I was dating at the time, she called her lawyer to find out how to get me out of there, and her lawyer told her to tell me what to do, and that was to keep my composure, act like everything's fine, and they're gonna let me go after like
Mm.
3 to 5 days, and that's exactly what happened. But when I left, I still had shows booked, bro. I had to open up for Field Mob a week later. Like I had a lot going on, bro. And yeah, it was a crazy time in my life, bro. I've never been the same since, bro. Like I just see everything for what it is now. Like once you wake up, when you finally wake up for real, you really see things for what they truly are, and the things that used to be interested, back, they're not interesting no more. The things used to be
Mm.
appealed in, they're not appealing anymore, bro. You see the world differently, and your world changes, bro. And you lose friends, you lose, that, how that goes, bro.
Hmm. Do you think that the demon wanted you, like the spirit was trying to take you out, like suicide by cop type thing?
I mean, that's a possibility.
Okay.
I know that
Since you weren't cooperating, basically.
I guess, bro. I mean, that's a good possibility, bro. Because that demon did, really put a number on me, bro.
Hmm.
It did a number on me, and it tried to make me destroy myself, bro. It tried to
Mm.
make me, like, I was not afraid to die that night, bro. Like, I would have went out, no problem, bro. Like
Yeah.
I, yeah, like I did not. I was like, let's go. I'll line all y'all up right now. Like, it was wild, bro. It was
What did
wild.
that feel like, having something in control of you like that?
Bro, it's hard to really explain, Robbie, bro, because when you have a demon in you, bro, when the demon takes full control, you kind of black out. Like, you kind of like black out, like black out. Like, if you drink too much, you kind of black out, right? It's
Hmm.
kind of like your consciousness goes into, you remember that movie Get Out?
Yep.
So, like, it's like that, like your consciousness kind of goes back there, and then the demon kind of takes control, and
Mm.
you're just kind of subliminally weird. It's like you're watching this happen, and you have no, like, it's hard for you to control what's happening, bro. Like, I
Almost
was,
like a out of body experience.
yeah, bro. Like, I was like telling people to bow down before me, and it was bad, bro. It was bad, bro. It was.
So I noticed a lot of people that kind of get into seeing the world for what it is, or I shouldn't even say that, just like the things that we discuss and talk about when it comes to, spiritual beings, governments, aliens, stuff like this. Like, a lot of people have a traumatized past. What do you think about that? Have you noticed that too, or?
Kinda, yeah. I mean, I don't have a trauma past though, bro. Like, not me personally. Like, I grew up like a regular kid, but as a Florida boy, for whatever that's worth, I did a lot of wild shit with a lot of people, like,
I mean, the street life brings trauma and drama. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not. I don't. It could be any trauma, right? Like
yeah,
something that you went through might not be as significant to me. It's like whatever, but something that I went through is significant to me, right? It's enough to create a
yeah.
reaction, right? So basically, I feel like pain is a great teacher. It's a great motivator, and when people go through a significant amount of pain for them to actually grow, I feel like it opens their eyes to things that they might have not been able to see unless they experience that trauma or that pain.
No, for sure though, for sure. I agree with you 100%, bro.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely.
So okay, so the full possession took over a day, but like, was there any lingering reminiscences after that? Like, how long? So this was 2011.
2013.
2013. Okay, so how long did like that linger or ruminate with you?
I mean, the so for when I got out the mental hospital, I was having wild dreams that were too real. I felt like the demon didn't leave. It lingered for a while, bro. Weeks, maybe months. But I just kept praying and praying, and things kind of just, I just started just to live my life, just kind of got over it, bro. You know.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it was that was, you know, I've been through a lot, bro, and that that was very real, bro. That was something out of a movie you would see in a movie, bro. It it was too real, Robbie. It was.
Right.
I'll never forget it, fam. And I know, and it wasn't me going crazy. Like my homeboy, you know, he was in the studio with me. Like he saw the demons too, bro.
Damn.
It wasn't just me like seeing shit. He saw them with me. Like they were in the studio, bro. We would walk into the studio and we would see one of the demons just looking at us like the Jeepers Creepers face, just smirking at us. Just, it's unbelievable, bro. And the spirit realm, it's right here, fam. It's right in front of us, bro. It's all around us. It's like the spirit realm is in this realm. It's like the realm within the realm, bro. It's, you know, the CIA declassified a document that I know that you know of, that the human eye can only see about 1% of the light spectrum. We can't see 99% of what's really going on around us, bro. So that would explain, you know, why most people can't see the spirit realm, you know.
Well, yeah, you think about, you know, radio frequencies. Like I can't see a transmission, but that doesn't mean that it doesn't get sent, right?
Exactly,
You know,
bro.
you can't see the wind blow other than it picks up dust or something else. Like wind's not visible. You know what I mean? That's funny because a guy who's in my life who plays a pretty important part in my life always says that. He says we're in the spirit world, asshole. They can't see us, and that's a quote from Young Guns, man, the Young Guns movie. But that's funny you bring that up, man, because it's true. And yeah, our eyes are filters, basically. We
Yeah,
basically have filters for vision, right?
yeah. And the veil gets lifted up when that veil, because you know, when we're children, when we're younger, the younger we are, the more tapped in we are to the spirit realm. That's why. That's one reason why these elites and celebrities and dark, disgusting people that rule this world choose young children to, you know, because they're so pure and their blood is more pure than, you know, say, like someone like you and me who are in our 30s, early 30s, you know, we're tainted, you know, we're tainted, but when we're young, we're pure, bro. And a lot of people in, you know, there was that one CIA agent, senior officer, Robert David Steele, before he was supposedly died off of the, right? 2021, he was exposing all of that, the adrenaline, all of that, bro. And what's going on with that. And he explained a lot. Like that, you know, if you watch that movie Doctor Sleep, that movie is about that. You know?
Did you see that whole Boeing thing with these flights? How all these flights were having these malfunctions and stuff like that, and that whistleblower came out. He's worked for the Boeing factory for like a decade or so. Yeah, he was coming out saying that you know they were using like what did they call it? What was the word? They were using malfunctioning parts or like parts that didn't meet specs and stuff like that to put these planes together to meet the deadlines, right? To deliver these orders of airplanes. And that's why all these malfunctions were happening. Defective parts. He was getting ready to go testify in front of Congress as a whistleblower, and this was just 2 years ago or a year ago or something like that. It was like the beginning of 23 or the end of 22, and they unalived him somehow.
I remember that. I do remember that.
Yeah, so I mean that's not new. You remember, God, what was his name that exposed the Contra War? I want to say it was Randy, but I could be wrong, or Greg, but he was a journalist and he exposed the Contra War, where basically the government funded the Contra Congo War with drug money. The CIA funded that war with drug money. So they basically funded both sides of a war, propagated the war to have them go at each other to make a profit off of it. And they used it all using off the book money, right? Which was drug money. So they ended up, you know, unaliving him too. I don't know how you kill yourself with the piano wire, but you do, I guess. So, yeah, yeah.
You don't.
So yeah, I mean, there's tons of people like that. Phil Schneider, who exposed the Dulce, you know.
Man right there,
Bill
deep
Snyder,
underground.
man.
Yep,
Yeah,
that's man. I got a lot of content on my page with him, bro. He
yeah,
really, you know what? Something that he said was one of my favorite clips of him, and I got it posted on my Instagram a few times. He said, "The New World Order and the alien agenda is one and the same.
mm,
It's world takeover and the desecration of the human population." Basically, bro, that what Phil Snyder got unalived back in like the early '90s or maybe around that time, bro. It was like,
yeah,
and he was talking about how the Greys and these races of extraterrestrials basically like eat our pineal gland like it's something like cocaine to them.
mm-hmm. Yeah.
He,
Our fear was a drug to them too.
yes, yep,
Yeah,
and they
they
on a
that's crazy because Bill Bill Lear, who's the inventor of the Lear jet. Remember how every rapper used to talk about having a Lear jet, like in the early 2000s, like Lil Wayne and stuff.
yeah.
So the inventor of the Lear jet, Bill Lear's son, his name was John Lear. He was the only man in world history that held the license to fly, certified to fly any flying craft known to man. So like this dude was an expert pilot. He'd been around the world, uh, flying around the world like multiple times. He held hella records and stuff like that. He can operate any flying machine that's on paper. uh he was super big into aliens and stuff like that. And you got to think, dude, like when you're tapped into government agencies, like a guy like Bill Lear, like you rub elbows with like some of the top, because when you're into like airspace, you're with the FAA, right? So that's the Federal Flight Association or whatever. That yeah. And so, anyways, he's growing up around all these generals and stuff like this, so he's just soaking up this game. And he talked about that too, about underground bases, and how like in the early days when we first started interacting with these beings, like guards who they would hire as like security detail around these facilities would run into these things for the first time and literally have heart attacks or strokes because they've never seen anything like it, right? It's a freaking alien, you know what I mean? So
Yep.
they had to start training them like in the movie Men in Black. You know that scene in the first Men in Black where they bring Will Smith and like all the aliens are popping out and all the US guys are shooting them, and he's like, "Why'd you shoot that kid?" You know what I mean? Well,
Yeah.
clearly she's in the wrong neighborhood, so she's the one that, right? So
Yeah.
like they had to start training them like that, is what he said, like for real, because these guys were literally dying or freaking out when they were running into these beings that we were housing in these underground facilities.
Yep.
But he always said that for the actual truth of what really goes on to come out, everybody's hands would have to be clean of it, right? Like it would have to come out in a way where no one person can take fault for it, which I always thought was interesting,
Yeah.
because you get all these whistleblowers and stuff like that, but the first thing we want to do is point the finger. And he said if it ever came out, there would be no one thing. So what first comes to mind to me is the last 4 years that have transpired, and the doctor they're trying to point the finger at in the mainstream right now, they're trying to pin it on one person. So that's just telltale signs for me that the truth is still, it's kind of being dangled in our face, but for us to make our own decision, they're not going to come and tell us yet. You know what I'm saying? But I do feel like there's going to be a day when just like we're talking about right now, like it can no longer be behind closed doors, and I feel like we're very close to that.
No, we are, and the truth is right in front of us too. Like it's all about if you can see it. You know what I mean?
Mm,
It's all about if you can really see it for what it is. I tell my people, my followers, when I go live, I'm like, when you wake up, when your third eye finally blossoms, you're gonna see things for what they truly are, and nobody can steer you, can lie to you. You'll just see it for what it is. And a lot of all these pieces of this puzzle will just start connecting itself like nothing. Like it, and I thank God. I went through hell to get where I'm at today,
mm,
but I thank God for it because I see these people out here, and they're just they they there's a difference between watching somebody's content about the truth and the Illuminati, the New World Order, this and that. There's a difference between somebody knowing about it and then being enlightened and actually awake. You understand what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Like there's a lot of people out here who, yeah, I know what the New World Order is, but they're not awake.
Right.
There's a lot of people like that, and I can tell because I conversate with these people, and I can just tell, that they're just not awake, bro. And that doesn't. I'm not trying to say that makes me better than them. That doesn't make me superior than them. It's just it is what it is. But there's still a lot of hate out here. There's a lot of it's a very small percentage of us who are actually awake and know the truth. And a lot of us don't really hang around a lot of other people because we see, but like the truth is so mind blowing that you can't really kick it or hang out with people that are not, on the level that you're on. You're not gonna mix anymore. You're not gonna relate no more. People. There's a lot of people out here. The only thing that's keeping these people relevant to each other is blowing dro or going out and partying and linking up with females or whatever the case is. They really ain't got nothing in common with them with each other, bro.
Low vibrational shit.
There's so much of that, Robbie, bro. I really I tried to put together like an elite exposure group,
Mm-hmm.
on that Clubhouse app, and that shit fell apart because the people that ended up coming ended up being some real phony people that talked a lot of sideways out their neck about me, about each other. And it's nothing but love, bro. I got nothing but love, bro. I forgive, but I'm not gonna forget, And it's sad because I really wanted to bring together a community of people that were on the same level of thinking, who feel like they can't talk to nobody about any of this stuff that they now have woken up to, and they feel alone. And it was all right at a point, but then it just got the drama. You saw it. You were there for a little bit of it. You saw it. You saw a lot of it. And yeah, that's all done, bro. I'm not gonna try to bring people together like that no more. I'm just gonna continue to put out my content, and people can take it for what it is. They don't gotta believe it. I'm not forcing nobody to believe it. It's there. Take it for what it is.
Yeah. Untethered souls, man. There's a lot of people that they're like you said, they're alone, but they feel something like me and you have talked about, but they don't know what it is. They don't know what to do. They don't know how to react to it, so they do. And then there's just people who are agents, bro, just creators of chaos, right?
Yep.
Weasel their way in just to stir the pot, and
There's
that's
a lot of that. There's a lot of that, bro.
Yeah, that's everywhere with everything. That's why, I kind of called the show Open Minds because like nothing is off limits for me, right? Like I'm willing to discuss anything. Like my beliefs are my beliefs, but again, like I said, I have an open mind enough to like at least entertain these ideas, but I don't try to tell anybody they're wrong when they come on the show. I bring you guys on here. I let you guys share your story, and it's up to the viewers to decide. You know what I mean? It ain't up to me.
That's dope. That's dope, bro. Super dope. I like that. That's how a lot of people should be, bro. Like they gotta, look at it on both sides. They gotta look at it, for what you ain't wrong, bro. That's a good way. I love the open mind show, bro. I really wish nothing but people to keep coming on here, bro. But there's so much melatonin in these people's, pineal gland. I can't stress that enough, Robbie. Like, it's bad, bro. These people claim that they're awake, but they have so much hate in their heart. They got so much low vibrational hate in them that how could you be awake? Because if you were really truly awake, you would have a lot of love in you, bro. You would have, you know what I'm saying, bro? Nobody that truly, how can I say this? Nobody, Jesus said this in the book of Matthew. He says, the mouth speaks what the heart is full of, And so what I took with that is listen to what comes out of people's mouths. What comes out of people's mouths is what's in their heart, And I listen to a lot of people and what they say and how they say it. And there's a lot of people out here who really don't like who they are, bro.
Yeah.
So they kind of reflect that hate. Misery loves company, Robbie.
Absolutely. There's a saying, dude. It's called it's actually like a motto or it's called coats and fire, right? So how many of us, when we get cold, we put on our coats, right? Because it's fucking cold. It keeps me warm, right? But how many of us feel the cold and go, you know what? Let me start a fire to keep everybody around me warm, not just me, right? It's always about me, right? I got my coat on, so fuck you. I'm warm,
That's
how many people go out and start fires to keep everybody else warm? You know what I mean? And I feel like on your platform, that's kind of what you do. On here, that's what we're kind of doing, is kind of bringing everybody in to make their own opinion, get warm. You know what I mean? Come around. If your belief's a little bit different, that's fine. You know what I'm saying? Just take it for what it is. How did Elite Exposure come about? The Elite Exposure Evan thing.
Yeah, so I went to prison in 2019 for fighting for battery charges, right? I got into some fights and they turned into felony batteries. I had to go to prison for almost 2 years. I got out 2019 and I'm out of prison for about, a little over a year on Facebook. Facebook more than anything I'm using, right? Just to link up with females, do the whole player thing, just me being, whatever, like, so, but I'm still enlightened, I still know what I know. I'm just not really entertaining it that much. But one day, I'm on social media. I'm on Facebook in particular, and I'm scrolling through my timeline, and I keep seeing memes, like memes that make people laugh, or people posting their food, just vanity, just stupid stuff. All right. So I said to myself, why don't I see anybody posting about the New World Order, the Illuminati? How come I don't see anybody posting about this on social media? How come I don't see it? So I said to myself, you know what? I'm going to start doing this. I'm going to create a group on Facebook where I start posting this content and people can join this group and start posting this content. So I called it, I created the group on Facebook and I called it The Elite Exposure. And within 2 months, Robbie, the group went viral and there were 10,000 plus members in the group. It just went bonkers. It went viral, bro. It blew up. And, it got so popular that I had to assemble a team of admins, just like I had with the, what I tried to do recently with the Elite Exposure, trying to bring people together. I had to have admins come help me, let approve people requesting to join the group. And, that was cool. And then a half a month later into that, Facebook disabled the group, deleted the group.
Damn.
Just like out of nowhere, that boom. And I said, damn, bro, like, they were shadow banning my accounts. They were deleting my accounts. I had to keep making new accounts. And it got to a point where Facebook wouldn't even let me make a new Facebook, bro, at all. Like I would put in a new email, a new everything, and they still wouldn't let me make an account. So I had to ask people to make an account for me and then let me log in. And then that would work for like a few days, and then they would catch on that it was me. You know, so I said, you know what? Let me try Instagram. Let me see how Instagram handles this type of content. So I start posting on Instagram, and I get then they start deleting accounts again, and then finally on my 8th account, which is the account that I use for the majority, because I got 2 backup accounts, but on my 8th account, that's when that account stuck, and they kind of chilled out, but they still shadow banned me. But my account blew up, and I got like, I was at 144,000 followers, but Instagram has actually been having people's accounts unfollow me without them even knowing they're unfollowing me.
Mm-hmm.
And they're not notifying people when I go live. It's crazy. But that's how the elite exposure started, bro. That's how that started.
So did it originally blow up just because of the name, or what? Like, what did you originally post for your name to go viral?
I was posting from adrenochrome. I was posting everything, fam. The New World Order. I was posting everything that you could post, all different topics.
Mm-hmm.
But Facebook owns Instagram. They bought Instagram. So if I ever posted about adrenochrome, it got taken down, fact checked. If I posted about trafficking, that got taken down. They do not play about that type of content, because that's actually happening on a day-to-day basis. They don't want people to know about this. They try to suppress that subject to the maximum, bro. That's one thing I learned about this, because they genuinely don't want people to know about this at all. At all.
Right. And you know what's crazy about that is, they'll say that they don't want it as disinformation to, dumb people down. But that's basically them admitting that if you feed somebody something enough, they start to believe it, whether it's real or not. Right. And so, again, here's where the conspiracy versus the truth comes in. At bare minimum, they are admitting that they can do that and they have that power, which means they do it, right? You don't have something that valuable and you go, you know what? We created this. We own the patents for it. Let's just put it up here on the shelf, right? They use it, right? They use it for their agenda, their advantage. So I think that's very important to put out and mention at the bare minimum, is that that's them admitting that, first of all. Second of all, in my eyes, right? Human beings in general should be, at least commonly intelligent, right? To decide for themselves, right? What is and what isn't, you know what I mean? So if it's so fake, who cares, right? If it's not true, who cares? But yet here they are taking the stuff down, and it don't matter who posts it, they take it down.
Yep. And why though? You know what I mean? Why fact check that? Why? It might, because there's a saying for the people who are actually awake. Whenever something's fact checked, it's it's true. You know what I'm talking about?
Absolutely, yep. And that's the thing, is that, okay, so we're talking about spiritual beings all around us at a higher frequency. They have a better understanding and knowledge of how the spiritual world works, which is the real world, like you're talking about. We only see 1% of what's going on around us. So they're more knowledgeable about the other 99%, right?
Absolutely.
So this is where, entertainment, Hollywood, and movies come into play, because if you know the karmic value of the universe and the morals and principles that the universe actually runs on, and you open your eyes to that, now you understand why they put movies like Men in Black in your face. Like, they're basically showing you the truth as fiction, right? As entertainment purposes. But that's like if I came up to you tomorrow and said, yo, Evan, I got $1 million in cash at my house, but I ain't going to show it to you. You're probably going to laugh and be like, whatever, Rob, like, who gives a fuck? You know what I mean? Right. But I told you, so it's not my fault that you don't believe it, right? And it's the same thing with these movies, right? Like, so you're talking about, you know, the blood and stuff like this, and I'm going to be kind of vague. There's a movie by the guy who created the Muppets, Jim Henson, and it's an old movie. These little elf beings, and there's these higher up beings that are like birds. They're like giant vultures, and they call them the Skeksis. And these Skeksis trick these little the whole population of elves. There's like 7 tribes of elves, like tons of them all around this planet. They trick them into thinking that they need the Skeksis to be protected and survive and go on. The whole time, these Skeksis, these vulture beings, are like taking, you know, small percentages of these elf populations from all over the elf tribes and draining them of their essence, because the Skeksis believe that the elf essence makes them live longer and younger. And I'm like, bro, it's the elitist versus the 1%ers versus the population. And Jim Henson, the creator of the Muppets, is literally like putting it in our face in a fictional, you know, this is a puppet movie. I'm going to look up the movie right now. Movies. I don't know why I can't think of it, dude.
Nah, bro, that is exactly what they do. Hollywood, with movies, they always put the truth in these movies. But you know, you think about the word Hollywood. Well, what's it called?
The Dark Crystal, and they came out with the series too. And look at those are the Skeksis beings. They're like vultures.
Wow,
dude, I'm telling you, I watched that, and that's the first thing that popped to mind when I watched that. And I'm like, bro, like same thing with Star Wars, dude. Like the dark side versus the Jedi's, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's the common, you know, love, you know, decency versus, you know, evil.
Love and hate, evil and good.
Yeah.
But that's the thing with Hollywood, bro, is that people don't know, but the word Hollywood itself, Hollywood, comes from the holly tree, where the Magi's used to take, you know, their wands and, you know, put the spells on whoever and whatever. And bro, it goes so deep. I highly recommend everybody who's watching this to watch the documentary called Out of Shadows. I'll repeat that, Out of Shadows. You can watch it on rumble.com. And that documentary is that documentary will wake you up, wake you up. Like, kudos to the people that made that documentary, because they couldn't have done a better job. And they talk about it all, bro, from P-Gate to everything, bro, all of it. And the main guy in that documentary was one of the famous stuntmans who ended up ending his career by getting into a serious injury by doing a stunt. But he did all the big movies. He got really high up there in Hollywood being a stuntman, and he started to open his eyes, and it led him to make that documentary, bro. And that documentary is super fire if you really want to like see, be explained to you in a type of like ABC way. You know what I mean? Like it's a good documentary, bro. But Hollywood, the entertainment industry, it's a one and the same, bro. It's a very small club, bro. These actors, these actresses, you know, I believe 100% that they are with drinking the blood of the innocent. I mean, you see like these celebrities these days, like they look young, very young, you know, you know, we know what they're doing, bro. For the people that know, we know, you know. You know, and I believe that even in the music industry too, at a very high level, they're doing that too. You know, that's why you hear. That's why you hear about these Illuminati parties, you don't just see, musicians, you see actors, actresses, you see politicians, you see
Athletes.
athletes, even the sports, bro, all of it, man. Like it's it's a very small club. Just like George Carlin said, what he said, it's a big small club, and we ain't in it.
Yeah.
You know?
So true, so true. And you know, there's actually newspaper articles from the early 40s and 50s. The CIA was actually advertising to Hollywood and help with their science fiction movies.
Yeah, for sure,
Yeah.
bro. They give them
And
scripts.
yep, and some people have even said that Stanley Kubrick, he did the Eyes Wide Open
Eyes wide shut.
or Eyes Wide Shut with Tom Cruise, and he did the Close Encounters of the Fourth Kind. They often said that he actually had Dr. Alan J. Hynek on movie set with him when he made that movie. And if people don't know who Dr. Alan J. Hynek is, he was the Project Blue Book. So he actually was contracted by the U.S. government to basically go investigate these, UFOs and these phenomena. And he went in as a skeptic and came out on the other side and was like, 90% of the cases he could explain with science, but for the other 10%, he was like, there's something beyond our understanding happening that, science can't touch or explain. And he mentioned it in other words, but he basically said moral psychology, which is spiritual, right? Some sort of moral psychology was going on. And to me, that was interesting. Why would a guy who, was contracted by the U.S. government to investigate UFOs, basically like a real X-Files, right?
Yeah.
Be on a movie set with the director about a movie of, aliens, basically.
You remember that movie Paul? Seth Rogen played the voice of the. It's like a comedy, science fiction, where you remember that movie Shaun of the Dead?
Yep.
You remember the main character, the white dude, the British guy, and then his friend, the other British guy, the fat dude. They play in that movie Paul, and they go to Area 51, and they end up the alien Paul is his name. Escapes from Area 51 and hitches a ride with those two dudes, and it's crazy. You got to see that movie. But there's a spoiler alert. Turn down the volume if you don't want to hear this. But there's a scene in that movie where it shows that when the alien Paul was locked up in Area 51, he would be on the phone with Steven Spielberg giving him movie ideas, bro. And they movie, like, it's buck wild, bro. Like, they tell us to our face, and people just think it's entertainment. No, bro.
Yeah.
Oh man, no.
Some people even claim that Stanley Kubrick's the director responsible for the moon landing.
The moon landing. Did you see the interview that he did it? There's an interview for all you guys watching about the moon landing. I'm sure you heard it was faked. Well, it was faked by Stanley Kubrick. Stanley Kubrick did an interview with an individual and asked, don't put this interview out for 15 years. But when it came out, it's like a maybe 40-minute interview, maybe something like that. But he explains how he helped the government fake the moon landing.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, and come on, bro. If you watch the actual footage of that whole moon landing thing, it is actually, there's so much that you won't ever believe it ever.
Yeah.
Like,
well, my thing is, how'd the camera get there before them? Who set that up?
Exactly. I mean, so the guy, yeah, okay, bye. No,
I'm just stuck on the moon.
Yeah, bro. No, there's so many things. And here's another video I would love for you people to watch that will, if you believe NASA, here, let me tell you something. Here's a video that will change you. and it's guaranteed to make you look at any space agency for what it truly is. Go to rumble.com and type in top 10 reasons why I don't trust NASA. That's the title of the video. Top 10 reasons why I don't trust NASA. Watch that. It's like 22, 23 minutes long, and it shows you how it shows you so much stuff on like them finding apparently they show NASA's video of the little rover on Mars, and then they show this spot in the desert on Google Earth that's exactly the same. It just has that tint of red from that. Like they show like when these astronauts are on the ISS, how you can see the bungee cords strapped to them, like you could see it
Like
pulling.
they're tethered off.
Yes, bro. Like there's so much. There's just so much, and that's a deep rabbit hole, and it'll lead you to other rabbit holes, and it just doesn't stop. The rabbit hole is a forever dive in type of deal, you know.
Dude, have you noticed that, like, okay, when we were kids, every image they showed of Mars always had that red tint like you're talking about. Have you seen more recent photos?
No.
Dude, it's colored skies, bro. It's red sand with like it's almost like a sunset sky. So there's blue in it, like there's almost like our Earth. So even if it is real, bro, the fact that they've lied about, the color and what it actually looks like compared to now, like it just looks basically like, a desert barren land from whatever they show. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
There's colors in it. So
Yeah.
I thought that was a trip too. It's like they subtly like introduce new things slowly, so that way 5 years down the road they could be like, no, it's always been like this. Look at the past 5 years. Well, what about 5 years before that? You know what I mean? It's like the whole climate change thing. Well, of course we're in the hottest uh times on record, when the record started 500 years ago, and the coldest time on record, right? But what about the previous 500 years before that, or before that? You know what I mean? Like, I always found that interesting, dude. Like, you could just, as a certified scientist, you could just say like, oh, okay, 1200 years ago, this period was the coldest time, so let's go from there and start our calculating. Well, then yeah, it's going to be the hottest because it's the hottest since the coldest time the last 1200 years. So what's next for Elite Exposure? Like, what's your plans? Do you have anything new in the works, or?
Well, as of right now, I'm just still posting content. I have, I work 6 days a week, so I'm very busy. But even when I'm at work, I'm still posting content. Creating content, putting it out there. What I want to do is, I really want to, I said it last time on the show that I was in the works of trying to build the Elite Exposure podcast for my YouTube channel. And I just haven't been able to get around to it, bro. I've been going through, a lot. We all go through a lot, but everything's, that's what I want to do, bro. I'm trying to start a podcast and interview people. That's what I really want to do, bro. And it's gonna take a lot to do it how I want to do it. But it's gonna get done. It's all about how bad I really want to get it done. That's just with anything in life. But the Elite Exposure, bro, it's for everybody, bro. I really I do this for the people, bro. Like yes, I get a sense of happiness and dopamine when I see, every time I post a video, it gets, a lot of views, bro. And it makes me happy to see people, even if they're disagreeing, but they're seeing it, like waking people up brings me genuine joy, bro. Like, when I first started doing this, when I had the Facebook group Elite Exposure, that's when there weren't too many people that knew about all this stuff. That's when people were first starting to wake up. And I would have people DM me every single day, thanking me for waking them up, like changing their life, bro. And that, that's an unbelievable feeling, bro. And it makes me nothing makes me more happier than doing this, bro. I don't do this for clout. I don't do this to try to, get social media famous. I don't do this for that, bro. It was never for that. It was always to, I got sick of seeing vanity on social media because that's the agenda, the dumb down the population. I got sick of that, bro. So I stepped in and I started to do something about it. I'm only one man, but a lot can be done. It just depends how much you're willing to put in the effort on what you're trying to do. And what I'm trying to do, Robbie, is I'm trying to wake people up, bro. That's what I really want. Whether they wake up or not, I can at least say that I tried, bro. I can at least say that I tried.
The seed that grew the tree, huh?
Yeah, bro.
That's right. I respect it.
Yeah.
So do you edit all your own videos and stuff like that?
All of it, bro. I've been editing videos since I was 9, 10 years old. My brother, I used to skateboard when I was a very young kid. And us skateboarders, we used to have very expensive cameras filming our skateboarding, right? And we would make skate films. And I made my first film with me and my homeboys at my house with my computer using Adobe, the program, the film program, the film editing program, Adobe Pro 6.0. And it was like a real, bro, I was talented from the beginning on doing that, bro. And I self-taught myself everything. So I've been making my own content ever since I was a young kid, bro, So I do it all, bro. I'm really doing this by myself, bro. And I don't, I figure other people do it too. But, I noticed a lot of people out here just kind of repost stuff. Like they don't, what pisses me off though? I ain't gonna lie, bro.
What's up?
I see a lot of people taking my content. And you know how I got my logos on the top and the bottom of the Elite Exposure with, this logo right here. Yeah. It says Elite Exposure through it. I see people taking that off and, cropping it and acting like they made that content. And I mean, it is what it is. Like I see it kind of like, damn, you kind of a buster for doing that, not even giving you my kudos, you know what I'm saying? But at least people are waking up though. At least they're seeing it. Like, bro, if you go to TikTok, right? Like I got a TikTok, but I don't ever use it. I don't post on it. I posted like a couple videos on there, but I don't use it. I go on there to look for stuff sometimes. But if you go to TikTok and you go to the search bar, right, and you type in Elite Exposure Evan, look at how many thousands of accounts have reposted my videos. It'll blow your mind, bro. It'll blow your mind. It's crazy, bro. But that's another sense of happiness I get. That if people are too lazy to make their own content, that's cool. Repost my stuff. It's cool. You don't want to tag me, you don't want to shout me out, that's cool too. But it is a little weird though,
Yeah.
But
So I'm just putting that out there.
Yeah, we live in the world we live in, bro. No one gives a fuck. No one cares. Bro.
Yeah, it comes with the territory, bro. I get it. Yeah, man. I want you to keep speaking that podcast stuff into existence, bro. I got nothing but, you know what I'm saying, kudos in any way I can help. I'll definitely help you. I would love to see that happen for you. Keep posting your content because, your content was the reason I started following you. There's only certain pages that I follow with this stuff, and it's usually when it's unique, organic, and it's something different, but still, speaking that stuff. So I appreciate you and everything you're doing. You know what I'm saying? Keep on that road, and I'm looking forward to having you back on, bro.
I appreciate you too, Robbie. All the way, bro. It's nothing but love, bro. I appreciate you having me on, bro. Really do.
Absolutely. And hopefully we're gonna get this episode right so YouTube don't play with me and play with my channel. But you know what I'm saying? That elite exposure, man, it be turning the gears and getting people looking. So we gonna see though. I'm still gonna put it out though. So stay tuned for that.
Appreciate it, man. Absolutely.
Absolutely. Well, you have a blessed night, man. I'm gonna talk to you later.
You too, my brother.
All right, dog.
Later.
All right, later.